Hi, and welcome. My name is Doug Miller, and I teach at the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. Today we're going to talk about holiday cocktails and also mocktails, versions of some of these cocktails that can be served to some of the younger audience or also people who perhaps do not want the alcohol in their drink. The first drink we're going to start off with is what I call a crimson sparkler. Within that drink we have a little bit of pomegranate juice, which is perfectly in season this time of year. And on the bottom of the glass, there's just a little sugar cube, just to sweeten up the pomegranate juice just a little bit. And then also, we're going to add a little currant juice to give it that nice, deep red color. Pomegranates, seeds, you can find at your local grocery store. Just remember, when you do handle pomegranate juice, the juice does stain, so you want to be careful with that. But we're just going to sprinkle pomegranate seeds in the bottom of the glass. And then we're going to top it off with a little bit of champagne. Now, you can either use champagne or sparkling wine, whichever your favorite wine is. It's totally up to you. But you just want to top the glass off. While that is settling, I'll make the exact same drink, but this drink will be non-alcoholic. So this drink is perfect for people who are not of age or perhaps just don't want the alcohol in the drink. Personally, sometimes I don't want alcohol in the drink. I want something light and refreshing without the alcohol to start my evening off. So it's the exact same recipe. The only difference is that we're going to use sparkling cider, Martinelli sparkling cider. It's the exact same drink, just with a little bit of twist. When you are having cocktails, just be responsible. You want to be responsible whenever you are having alcoholic beverages. So this is the first two drinks. We'll just set this over here. Now we're going to move on to a drink that is fun for the family to do. So if you have children who want to help out in the kitchen, they're looking for something to do, this is a perfect drink for them. It involves a Boston shaker, a pint glass, and we're going to put in some cranberries, because it is cranberry season. Also in the bottom of the glass, we're just going to add a sprig of mint, about 4 to 5 leaves. We're going to add a wedge of lime, and then also just a little bit of sugar. And we're going to take our muddling stick and we're going to muddle this up. You don't want to over pulverize, if you will. You just want to be able to just squeeze out the lime juice and break up the cranberries, and then also bruise the mint a little bit just to get a little flavor out of it. And this is what's so fun about children being able to do this. This is something easy for them to do in the kitchen to help you out. And then we're going to put a little bit of ice in the bottom of the glass. And we're going to give it a good shake. Now, if you don't have a Boston shaker, you can certainly use any type of cocktail shaker that you might have at home. Or if you wanted to, you could also use a spoon to also stir it up if you do not have a cocktail shaker at home. But then you're going to take this mixture, pour it into the bottom of a rocks glass, and then we're going to top that off with a little bit of ginger ale. A great non-alcoholic beverage to start off the evening. Also, it's great for children because this is a drink that they can make themselves. They can take the cranberry, the mint, also the lime, muddle it themselves, and then also top it off with the ginger ale. If you'd like, you can also add a little bit of vodka or gin or whatever alcohol of your preference. The one that I currently have here is Modern Spirits. It's a lovely chocolate orange vodka coming from California. And if you wanted to, you could just top it off with about 1.5 ounces of that. And when I added lovely complexity to that drink with the chocolate and the orange going on. Now, of course, you have to have, during the holiday season, something that reminds you of times past. The drink that I'm going to make next is a version off the old sidecar, which started in, we believe, in Paris many years ago, back in the 30s. Within that drink, we are going to utilize our little twist on it, on the classic, if you will, is we're going to use a blood orange. Blood oranges are in season now. If you cannot find blood oranges at your local grocery store, then tangerines, tangelos, all the different types of wonderful oranges that are in season. You can also use them. Clementines would be lovely. A squeeze of that. And I prefer using fresh juices whenever I can. It takes almost just as long to squeeze it yourself as it does to buy it. And then I'm going to squeeze half a lemon. Then I'm going to add a little Grand Marnier, about 1 ounce of Grand Marnier, and then some Calvados. And while that's sitting, I am going to prepare my martini glass. So I'm going to take another orange, because I'm going to rim the top of the martini glass with the juice from the orange. I can rim my glass with sugar. This is a vanilla bean sugar. And all I did for this is I took a whole vanilla bean, scraped the insides of it out into sugar, and let it sit for about a day, day and a half. And that will give you that'll give you a frosted rim, the lovely flavor of the vanilla beans. So it's almost like a frosted holiday picturesque window. And then I'm going to take some ice into my Boston shaker. And again, if you don't have a Boston shaker, you can use a cocktail shaker, or you can also just use a spoon and stir it up with a spoon. And now comes the fun part. You get to shake. And then we're going to strain this drink into the frosted martini glass. Now, if you want to be the hit of the party, here's a little trick that's actually very simple to do that will impress all your friends. It's called flaming an orange. Citrus fruits, lemons and oranges, and also limes, have natural oils in them. So what you want to do is you want to take a nice slice of the outside of the orange. You want to make sure the orange is nice and fresh, that it has a lot of oil in it. So you have a little bit of the pith and then the skin. And then you want to take a match or a lighter, whichever you prefer. You want to light the match or the lighter, hold the orange over top of the drink, and you have it pinched a little bit, so when you squeeze it, it flames out. And then you drop that into the drink itself. The oils themselves will also flavor the drink, and it's also a great little garnish to add to the drink, and it's something to really impress your friends with. Now, before you do it for the first time, I just recommend practicing it a few times by taking your orange and flaming it, so when you're on that center stage, you're ready to go. The last cocktail I'm going to make today is a traditional eggnog. Hope my brother doesn't mind, because it's his recipe that I stole for him, because he's the eggnog king in the family. So just don't tell him. So we're going to add some egg whites that have already been whipped to add a little frothiness, because by whipping the egg whites ahead of time, it'll add a little air into the drink. Then I'm going to add some egg yolks. And then I have milk and also half and half. You can certainly use just milk if you want. If you want something that's a little bit lighter, you can also most definitely use skim milk. Or perhaps if you wanted something really different and you're lactose intolerant, then you can also use either a soy milk or an almond milk or something of that nature. For a little sweetness, fresh maple syrup. That's my sweet ingredient. Then I add a little bit of cloves, a little bit of cinnamon, and then I'm also to grate some fresh nutmeg into it. This is also a great drink that you can make ahead of time. You can certainly put all the ingredients together and then put that into a punch bowl. And all you have to do before you serve it is just stir it back up, and then you'll be ready to go. I want to give it a good shake. And again, if you wanted to, you could pour this drink into a glass if you wanted to. You can pour it into a rocks glass. You can pour it into, today I just decided to pour it into a brandy snifter. Or you can also serve it into a lovely punch bowl. And then to garnish it, we're just going to grate a little bit of fresh nutmeg on top. Because nutmeg is very aromatic and will add a lovely scent, a lovely smell on the drink. And this is a great traditional non-alcoholic drink. If you wanted to, you could also add a little bit of bourbon if you wanted to. Any type of bourbon or whiskey if you wanted to add to it. If you wanted to add a little different, you can also add a little rum, a nice dark rum, if you so and choose. So you can add a little alcohol to this drink if you would like to. So thank you for joining us. For these and other great recipes, please visit our website at ciachef.edu. And for more great videos, search Culinary Institute of America on YouTube.